There's no Nixie tube here in this Nixie tube gear. For decades. First we got our hands producing cows. And yeah, I use key spectrum analyzer works to try to get you think that maybe that's a question about me. So I think that's all I want to comment on. I can get into the full wire of his workbench when that is possible. I think I'm trying to do there you are. Wednesday, you're just going to set up the receiver that we can watch tonight. So I'll do that. But that's right around when we were preparing supper. We had today. We went to the state store. Bought a bottle of Jameson whiskey. We bought some pack of, I forget the brand, an Irish ginger beer. And I made a mule, Irish mule.
Okay.
Put in a little lemon juice. And I even added a little bit of brown sugar. So there you are.
I don't know if that's good or bad.
I'm not a mixed drink person.
27.115 on your AM dial.
Dove into the Irish mule ingredients. W2VW, WA3KLR.
Okay, WA3KLR, AA3RE sign from W2VW.
Wayne.
Great story, Pete, about the
Yes, sir.
Soviet strips.
You running barefoot?
Somebody would have been executed.
Yes, correct. Okay, that explains why you're in the noise. I can't see any signal though, because I don't have a meter on this radio, but yeah.
That's the kind of stuff that you write down. And you
Yeah, that's dead key is about 3 watts.
History, and there's no
yeah, mud duck power.
There's no nothing. It's just what happened.
Correct.
The way it happened.
I can turn it on, but I haven't. I'm seeing the needle moving real nice. My audio must come through okay.
Thanks for stopping in.
Yeah, it's just down in the noise a bit.
The radio roundup.
Yeah, I'm not hearing any other noise. But then again, I run the RF gain on this radio about halfway.
215 or
yeah, I don't know if this radio is just excessively noisy or what. I may switch it around if it continues to make everybody sound like they're in the mud.
Even though the band might not be open because the band might be Contact in progress.
Well,
get things
I pumped it up for you. Well, I took the noise out of the receiver.
We only get on it. Not
Oh, good. It's working.
Stuff that goes on
Working very well.
usual stuff. It's more fun when weird things are happening, like when
Hopefully Pete can get stuck working overtime again.
2 states away.
Pete was here Monday, and we put my 40-meter wire back up. Yeah, he did tell me about that. And, yeah, he was talking like he was going to be here tonight. He didn't anticipate a problem, but, things come up out of nowhere. Breaker out there. Breaker out where? Out there. Who we got out there? Sandbagger. Sandbagger. This is the witch doctor. I haven't been on the air for a long time. I just got back in there. How you doing? Witch doctor. From, like, Pottstown? Down in Limerick. Ah, okay. Yeah, long time no hear, I guess. Yeah, I was talking to a friend of ours. They told me you guys have a classic radio roundup on Wednesday night. That's right. This is classic radio roundup on Channel 13. Yeah, well, I just wanted to key up and tell you guys hi. Say hi to you guys. 441 in there at all? He should be. He hasn't said anything yet, but, he can pop in there yet. 10-4, I just got this radio set up in the movie. I just wanted to break in there and say hi to you guys. I'll let you get back to your talking. Okay, man. It's good hearing you. Glad to see you're getting back into it. Yeah, it's been a long time coming. I just had some health issues and stuff and had to make some changes. But anyhow, I got this Galaxy hooked up in my truck right now. That's a good way to start. 10-4, I appreciate it. Yeah, it sounded good too. No pain, no strain. I can't tell you what you're giving me though, because this radio doesn't have a meter, but does sound good. Where are you at? Amity Township, Douglasville. I just came off of Booger Road on 663 up here in Gilbertsville. Okay. Yeah, you're doing pretty good. It's probably an 8 or 9 mile trip there. It talks pretty far when I have to, you know what I mean? But just running the radio right now. You're lighting up all the bars on my Ranger. Who's that out there? It's Renegade. I don't know that I ever met you. I was back in the radio a little bit. Rare Bear was telling me you guys have this radio thing on Wednesday night, so I figured I'd key up and see how you guys are doing. Cool. Well, you sound fine. I appreciate it, man. I'll let you guys get back to your talking, and I'll stand by. All right, man. Good hearing from you again. Passed a good word along to Rare Bear there, too. I haven't heard him in a while. Good to see you still around. Yeah, I will tell him that you guys said hi. I talk to him not often, but, once a month or so. And he got me hooked up with this radio. So I'm pretty happy with it. Yeah, he won't steer you wrong. He knows what he's doing. Yeah, that's for sure. Is JR in there anymore? Yeah, he might even be in there tonight. He usually shows up. Although sometimes maybe not until a little bit later. Maybe I'll try later on and give you guys a shout again and say hi to everybody. Maybe Pete will be in there again, too. Roger, Roger. All right, I'll see you later. Have a good night, y'all. Catch you later. I did it for Andy a couple times when he went up to Englishtown. Oh, Rare Bear? Yep.
I need a receive antenna that I can null stuff out of. Anyway, don't know how much longer.
Yeah, I'm in 1490. We're pretty close there for a while.
You guys get on Wednesday too?
Yeah, I know. 1490 was dating his daughter for a little bit too. But I guess that didn't work out.
It was like a Friday, maybe Saturday thing.
But he was married.
I didn't know about that. For WSD.
Not when he dated Andy's daughter. That must have been a long time back, because since I knew him, he was married. Yeah, no, he got divorced eventually. Him and Aaron broke up. Oh. Oh, so this was after that?
Like a real contester.
Correct.
I
wasn't aware of that. I guess that must have happened after he moved away. No, he was divorced when he was still down in Sweetland there. I guess, yeah, he wasn't talking about it much on the radio, because I used to talk to her and him, and, you know, she used to have that, that yellow blazer with the V8 in it and stuff. I remember that. I didn't realize that Silva broke up. She used to work at Vanguard, if I remember right. Yeah, I think you're correct. Yeah. That's I guess maybe we're not going to have Pete tonight. He must have got Shanghai or something. He got punished for sneaking off when the yard work needed to be done. I just thought he paid people to do that. Well, it depends on what kind of yard work you're talking about. The common trimming and all that versus, planting flowers and whatever that the wife likes to do. Okay. Let me just see here a minute. Well, I'm getting it for a dead key. That's about 35 watts dead key. Oh, about 70 watts peak. That's good. That's a good amount of power on a dead key. That's just where you want it to be. You should know. You set this radio up. Yeah, that's a darn good radio. I always liked those. That's why I kept it. Yeah, hold on to that guy. That's better than a lot of most of the newer ones. Yeah, anything wrong with it is I think it's using the 30 watt finals for sideband, and that's too much for my linear. Oh, too much drive. Yeah, I don't know what I set that up for on sideband. I don't know if I let that go to max. Back a little bit. No, I don't think you touch sideband. You turn a dead key down on AM so that it'll work with a 4-pill low drive Dave made. Yeah, right. So I thought I would have done the same for sideband. Yeah, well, I put it on sideband and turn the linear on. You can hear the relays clicking. That's probably because the amplifier doesn't have a sideband delay in it. It's supposed to. It has a button for sideband and AM. Huh. It really shouldn't be clickety-clacking then. Well, like I said, I think it's too much drive on sideband. Yeah, you can talk a little bit softer and, not have to push it so hard.
Countywide.
Oh, there he is.
Yeah, I've been here copying your mail. I hear you burning my ears. But I got hung up on 160.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, you missed the witch doctor. He was in there saying hello and waving his hands and all
Well, I heard him, but I was otherwise engaged. But I did hear him in there shouting, so maybe he's still cruising around Buchert Road somewhere. That's not too far away. That's why he was slamming my radio receiver. 160 conditions are pretty good tonight, so plus conversation was the match, so you know it's kind of hard to tear away.
Yeah. With the usual crew in there, or what?
Well, I don't know what you mean by the usual crew. If it's me and Dave, then others will join in, which did happen. And there happened to be a guy up at Quakertown that came in, and him and I used to work each other on 2-meter sideband like 20 years ago.
Quakertown, huh? That's where all hams go to die, man.
Well, he's not dead yet, so we can still talk about him.
Yeah, I know so many guys that were in radio, either CB or ham, that ended up moving to Quakertown. It's unreal. Good evening, boys. It's Spam Can waving a hand.
Hello, Spam Can. Spitfire, right back at you.
What's up? If any of you guys have a minute and don't mind, maybe hopping over to another channel, help me tune this thing in. I got some questions. I've got a new watt meter and my amp is not doing what it promised.
Well, you could do that right here. That's part of, especially with a you know right now light attendance. Pretty much what Classic Radio Roundup was founded upon: testing, tuning, asking questions, figuring it out. Do what you got to do.
All right, let's start with the easy one. How's the audio sounding right now?
Well, being as far away from you as you are, I think it's pretty good audio. If you got a little mic gain, you might give it a little bit extra.
I can definitely dial some up. Before I do that, can you guys educate me as to the relationship between mic gain and sort of like pep wattage? I can get this amp to sound good, but it seems if I start getting near anything near the advertised numbers, my audio sounds horrible, scratchy, they say.
Yeah, and you're getting there now, so bring that mic gain down a little bit. But so I'll have a couple of questions for you. What radio are you using to drive the amp and its power out? And what kind of amp is it? And is your carrier power 1/4 of the peak power? So those questions are where I'm going to start.
Is that 441? So, as it stands, I'm running a Anytone AT Quad 6. I'm running that into an RM Italy KL703. This radio, I think, obviously being 10 meter, it has adjustable power on it. I can get down as low as dead key at 2 watts, and it sounds fine at 2 watts, but I don't touch anything near the advertised power of the amp, which is supposed to be 500 PEP, that's single sideband as well as AM.
Yeah, hello, Witch Doctor. Yeah, hang on a minute. I'm trying to help somebody out. All right, the Quad 6. All right. So that amp, I'm not really familiar with that amp, what it's supposed to do, but it sounds like what with the amp on. Well, what are you seeing for output power on just a dead key?
So when I dead key this thing, I try and leave it. It sounds like from what reports I'm getting, it's anything over 2.5. It starts sounding weird. At full modulation PEP, I'm indicating 200 watts, which seems significantly short of what it's advertised for.
Yeah, I don't know how many transistors or what transistors are in that, but if it's supposed to do 500 watts with just a dead key, you should be able to key up about 125 watts. It sounds like 2 watts to drive isn't too much for that. So, and you're getting 200. So, yeah, I don't know, but your audio does start to mush out a little bit. So, yeah, maybe Sandbagger could chime in a little bit here.
He's kind of noisy to me, so it's kind of hard to make a really good objective audio analysis.
Yeah. Well, he's got an RM Italy solid state amp. He says it advertised for 500 watts PEP. an Anytone Quad 6, which I don't know what its peak power is, but I'm sure it's more than 4 watts. And a very variable power, and he's running it at 2 watts carrier, and he gets on peak power he's getting 200 watts out of the amp, but he mushes out. It sounds like he's mushing out at the peaks, or it's clipping maybe or something. So if you can't hear him well, that doesn't really help things. But yeah, I'm not familiar enough with that amp and its requirements, but so that's that. I'm a little bit of at a loss of what to tell you to do to make it work as advertised. But those advertised claims on a lot of them newer solid state amps are kind of got to be taken with a grain of salt. But at 200 watts, it's rated for 5. It should be clean. So I don't know where to go from here.
I can't hear him.
So I just backed the power down on this thing, but I'm trying to figure out mic gain. Like, can I back my gain down, my power up, maybe my audio will clean up?
No. When you're driving an amp, it's kind of the reverse. Your mic gain is good right where it's at. So that thing, does it have like high, low, medium switches on it?
It does, and I'm running out of high now. So I just backed the power feeding the amp down on the radio, and now it's showing right now that I'm peaking like under 200. So what I'm wondering is if I back my gain down even further, can I then feed more power into the amp? I don't know how that relationship works. Maybe you guys can help me.
No, but from experience, here's something that's gonna be hard for you to wrap your head around, but it works. Put it on low, the amp on low, and that puts in input attenuation into the amplifier, and then but you'll still get the same peak power. So start out putting that amp on low, and lower the drive on your radio, and then let's see how that goes, and then you can walk your power up from there and until things mush out. But believe it or not, those low, medium, and highs don't really do what you think they should do, or they work against you anyway. But I found that if you put it on low and then you can adjust the power, it'll work a whole lot better for you.
All right, so now we got 2 watts coming in, but I switched this amp over to low. How does this sound?
All right, that sounds pretty good. Now walk that up a few watts or whatever.
All right, this is a dead key. It looks like of almost 2.
All right, you can turn it up some more. You're still clean.
How we sounding now?
Sounds really good now. You can walk it up just a little bit more.
And how about right now?
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's working. Can you go any more? What kind of power are you getting out right now?
So I'm swinging up to maybe $150 or so. My Roger beep swings higher than everything else. I can drive more power into this amp. Let me keep going with it.
Yeah, the Roger beep will give you the 100% modulation, and your actual modulation only on your voice peaks is going to hit 100%. So it's going to be instantaneous, and most meters won't even pick that up. So which unless you got a true peak reading meter, if it plugs in the wall or has an external power supply, if it does not, it's not a true peak reading meter. So you're actually putting out more power than it's showing. So don't get too hung up on the meter reading, but turn your radio up a little bit more and let's see if you can get away with it.
Or do I still sound all right?
Somehow you were doubling with me a little bit. Come on, back.
Sorry about that. So I dialed the power up a little more. I don't really care what the number on the meter says. I just want to put the most power out without sounding bad.
Yep, you're still sounding good, and your signal's right back where it was when you started and sounded bad.
All right, should I try this amp on medium power or keep cooking it on low and see what that does for me?
No, keep it on low. Keep it on low. See, I don't know how to explain it, but those high, medium, and low switches, all that does is put in attenuators, but it's still able to do the same peak power. In other words, on AM, you have to have your carrier and then room for modulation. So your modulation is 3/4 of your power. Your dead key is 1/4 of your power, and you can't exceed the 4-to-1 there. So by increasing the to the medium and the high, you're cutting out. You're getting more carrier power, but you're cutting out your room for modulation. You gotta leave that modulation room in there, and then that's why you were fuzzing out, because you were peaking out the amp. Too much carrier versus modulation room, if you follow.
Yeah, my signal's flat topping is what you're saying.
Yeah, you gotta have that headroom for the modulation. So where are you at on dead key now?
Showing almost 5, and I'm about halfway up. I can still feed plenty more power to this thing.
Does that amp have an input rating? How much power you can input?
Supposedly takes 35 watts pep dead key.
All right, well go ahead and keep cranking it up then.
How we sounding now? Here's up a little bit farther.
All right, you're the strongest signal you've been since you checked in, and your modulation is still good and clean. Go ahead and turn it up some more.
How we sounding now? If I start talking like yay, am I still sounding decent, or am I distorting yet?
Nope, you're completely clean. You can still go more.
How about now? We still sounding pretty good? We're almost 3/4 of the way up the knob.
Still good and clean. Keep going.
Alright, we're at 3 o'clock now. It looks like power's starting to creep back up to almost where it was when I started this whole shebang.
Yeah, but your signal is stronger, your modulation's cleaner and louder, much clearer, no flat topping at all. You could probably turn that antitone all the way up then if that amp will take 30 watts of drive, you said.
Well, here's almost all the way up the knob. How's she sounding now?
Sounds good and clean. Let me see if it made any difference for Sandbagger. Dave?
I can hear him a little better on this radio.
Yeah, he sounds good and clear for you.
Yeah, pretty much. You kind of explained it fairly well. The only thing, those anytone radios, those things are high power radios. And even if you turn the dead key down, the peak modulation might exceed the amp's linear threshold there. And, bad things can happen. So you kind of have to keep the peak to carrier ratio at somewhere close to 4-to-1, even on the radio side.
Yeah, it didn't really seem to be gain any more signal from 3/4 to flat out. So you could probably back that drive down some to halfway to 3/4 in there somewhere, and try increasing your mic gain, and that might give you some more swing and peak room. But he did say it was a high drive amp.
Yeah, that's a good thing. For a radio like that, you gotta have a high drive amp. Otherwise, you'll get the thing all upset.
Let me hear you a little more mic gain there, Spam Can.
You got her. So this is power down around 75% of what she can do, and this is my gain max.
Yep, I think you found the best spot for that. Just leave that amp setting on low. It'll still put out the same peak power it's capable of, and you'll have room for modulation. Now, sideband may be a different story. You may have to fool around a little bit differently on sideband. You might be able to get away with it on high for the peak power, but on AM, you pretty much got to run that thing on low. Otherwise, you run out of modulation headroom.
All right, that's good advice. Yeah, I'm not really so worried about the numbers. Just that people talk about their amp heating up all the time. This thing stays cool to the touch all the time. It doesn't bother me, but it says to me I'm not working the amp out very much, and I just would like to put as much clean sounding signal out as possible.
Well, I think you've achieved the goal that you were looking for right here and now. And let me see. I had to put my glasses on to see the stupid mobile meter. But you're giving me a little bit better than 5S units down here, which is pretty good.
Yeah, that's definitely Well, I also don't know how much to believe this meter, right? It's an MFJ. It's not garbage, but it's also, I mean, who knows, right? Like, it's not a high-end meter for sure. You know, $175 or whatever. I don't think it's anything right home mom about.
No, and you know, all the years I've been playing radio, I don't get too hung up on the absolute numbers on meters because they all vary a little bit. And, you know, they're more relative to make sure you're doing what, you know, somewhere in the neighborhood of what you think you should be doing, and then to basically show you when things go south from the norm. So don't get too hung up on the numbers on the meter like people do, and the difference between 100 watts and 200 watts, 99% of the people aren't even going to see a difference on their receive meter.
Okay, since I've been monopolizing the airwaves, I'm going to flip this thing over to medium right quick, see what you guys think is sound, and then I'll back out of this.
All right, go for it.
How does this sound? Any good, or am I overdriving this thing?
Well, it did bring the signal up a little bit, but no, now you're fuzzing out on the top end voice peaks.
I'm going to keep it here and low, and we're just going to make life easy on this poor little amp.
Yep, it sounds real good on the low, and trust me, you're putting out more power than your meter is showing you, because it doesn't sound like it's a true peak reading meter. So don't get too hung up on the numbers.
Couldn't care less that meter says. All right, boys, you have at it. I'll step off the side here for a little bit.
All right, well, right there is part of the reason of the founding of Classic Radio Roundup, to help folks out like that. So I'm glad I could help. Spam can. Spitfire, Countywide Radio. You still out there? Oh, good grief. Old age brain fart. I know who you are, but I can't think of the name right now.
Witch Doctor.
Thank you. I couldn't pull it out. I bored the heck out of Witch Doctor. Sorry.
Yeah, those long, drawn-out technical things can tend to make people glaze over.
Yeah, I know, but like, it still goes back to the roots of the founding of Classic Radio Roundup, is to help people set their junk up so it works right.
Yeah, well, you just gotta be careful with these amps, you know. Running on low power is definitely the way to go, you know, because it doesn't take much to saturate them, and you know, it's you gotta, you know, if you're gonna overdrive it, it's gonna peak to a certain point, and that'll be that, and it'll flat top, and you know, turning it down to the point where it's not flat topping, and you know, you're not losing anything, but it's gonna sound a heck of a lot better.
Yeah, and it's hard to explain that across to people, like, you know, wait, it's got low, medium, high. Well, why can't I run it on high? Well, it's kind of hard to get the point across that you're going to get the same thing setting it on low, but it'll sound cleaner. So it's hard to get that point across.
So this is Spam Cam. Let's step back in for 1 second. The other thing that doesn't help either is like the instructions for these things tell you one thing, right? And you see people online looking at this stuff, right? These are all people trying to sell these amps, right? So they're just making a meter go to the right. Well, that's great, but I can't tell if this thing truly can't do what it's advertised to do, if that's all, you know, smoke and mirrors, or if I've set something up incorrectly.
Well, you know, a lot of that online stuff, people will try and sell you some smoke and mirrors because, you know, unless you're seeing, you know, spectrum analyzer and oscilloscope readings, you know, a watt meter, you know, he could be just showing you, just all kinds of nonsense that's not real in the real world is all. So a lot of these amplifiers got dubious claims, these you know, export solid state, quote unquote, CB amplifiers. You know, you gotta be skeptical.
Oh yeah, for sure, and that's why I'm pleased you guys are helping me out on this, because I don't really care what the number says. I'm just trying to make sure this amp is doing, you know, what it's designed to do in terms of getting signal out there. I could give two rips what the number is on it, put whatever number you want on it.
Well, I think it's doing what it's supposed to do now. You know, I don't know if that radio is a good match for its input as far as, you know, dead key peak power and all that kind of thing. I mean, that all factors into the equation, and then what the amp is actually capable of doing and all that. So there's more than meets the eye to get, to make everything, 100%, as it were. But I think you're pretty good.
Cool. Well, I appreciate the help, and thank all you other guys for standing aside while I monopolize the airwaves for a moment there. It's appreciated.
Yeah, no worries there, Spam Can. Classic Radio Roundup, the Spitfire 441 on this antique flea market Realistic TRC-424.
You running a stock mic?
No,
What are you running?
D104. Why? Should I go to the stock mic?
No. Just doesn't have that blasting CB, that hollow, D104-ish kind of sound. Sounds like you're talking close to it or something.
I am talking close to it, but I can. This radio doesn't like it. It's just, I don't know. I could do it on my Crystal Realistic radios, but I can't slam this thing.
Yeah, it's probably the limiter. Might be set up a little too tight.
Yeah, I can only put so much mic drive into this radio. It doesn't like too much.
What happens then? Does it get squirrely or what?
No, I could just tell that I can pump more in, but I don't get more out.
Well, then that's the limiter. Limiters are going to, clamp you to a certain level, and, cranking the mic up more will only raise your background. You'll hear the crickets fart in the front yard, but you won't get any louder.
Yeah. I mean, I could crank it up some and tell me what you think. There's some.
Nah, it didn't change much. Although it's a little bit crisper. I don't want to say crisper, but it doesn't have that sound like you're talking right up to it. The difference between talking like this and talking like this, it's different.
Well, I can always crank it up more. I can crank it up a lot more, but it doesn't give me any more. Doesn't give me any more output power. Maybe a little, but not really. But it probably sounds like doo-doo now.
No, it doesn't sound like doo-doo. It sounds about the same as it did before, except I hear a little bit more background, which gives you some depth, which makes it sound like an amplified mic now.
Oh, all right. Well, that's my D104 turned all the way up. Usually if I do that on the Shakespeare, Night Train's yelling at me.
Yeah, I'd be yelling at you too. But the limiter just needs to be turned up a little bit on that radio. It's clamping you just a little too much.
Well, maybe one weekday in the morning I'll open the case and you can point me in a direction, unless I could find the adjustment online, CB tricks or something.
Yeah, because I don't know where it is offhand. I don't know if that's got the same board in it as the 431 or not, but if one of the sites has it, you just turn the pot up. I believe it does have an adjustment.
All right. Well, I'll have to look into that at some point. Turn the limiter up a little bit, put it on the scope. But there's not very many of my radios I could turn this Silver Eagle all the way up and get away with it without everybody telling me I'm stinking loud.
No, you're not stinking loud. That's the limiter's holding you to its predetermined level. I just hear more depth now because there's a little bit more background and all.
Let me turn my carrier down. See if that helps any. Yeah, that actually helps better. A little less carrier. Yep, but it's still the same peak power.
Yeah, it's not really helping much.
Well, it makes me feel better.
And you still sound good there.
Sometimes it's all about feeling better. And hiya, Wayne.
Hi, Pete.
I missed the beginning there. I heard Dave and you talking about the wire, but I didn't catch the details. Are you on the wire tonight?
No, I'm on my vertical CB antenna tonight.
Oh, all right. I was just checking. Well, it's good that you got it back up anyway. It's there if you need.
Oh, yeah. I was listening to 15 meters today.
Oh, yeah. I bet that antenna works pretty well on 15.
Well, I meant 40. But same thing. It works on
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm sure it works on 15 too. But yeah, okay, on 40. And well, yeah, we'll have to figure out a way to get you on 160. That's where I was earlier.
I think we need a bit more wire.
Yeah, quite a bit more.
Yeah, when I was in Norristown, I had a long wire up that was 127 feet. It worked on 80 meters, but it didn't load up well on 160.
Nah, you needed another half of that, and then it would.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Another side the same length, that'll get you on 160.
We'd have to do like a quadruple loop around my lot.
Yeah, or make you one of them mag loops and stick it up on your roof.
You know, I was thinking about that.
You know, there's them mag loops seem to work wonders. I don't personally know anybody that uses one, but I talked to a guy in the UK, and he has a friend on a postage stamp lot in London, and he's got one on 160, and he says it works gangbusters. And I've heard of a couple other people reporting using them with pretty good success.
Yeah, I haven't heard anybody that uses one, so I don't know either. I see them advertised, but I don't know.
I imagine they're fairly expensive to buy one, but I can't imagine it's all that expensive to make one.
I can't remember the price range, but they weren't, at least for me, the price didn't put them out of the market.
10.4. I'd certainly like to try one myself, just to see.
And I got this perfect spot too. I still got the air conditioners on the roof here, and it doesn't work. But the covers on there and everything, I could put it on top of that. That might work.
Yeah, I would think so. And then just put an Armstrong rotator on it. You could put a couple of ropes, one out one side and in the other in the window, and one out the other side and back in the window on the other side, and then give it a pull.
I had a Volkswagen that my wiper motor went, and I did that with my windshield wipers. I tie a rope on both sides through the vent windows, and that's how I work my windshield wipers on the Volkswagen.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're not the only one who's ever done something like that.
I'd be very surprised if I was the only person that tried that.
Man, is anybody else getting that nasty bleed over? Holy cow.
No. I just got noise.
I don't know where it's coming from, but it's bad.
I'm not getting anything here.
I wonder if this radio is just a bad radio for adjacent channel or whatever.
That's possible.
Don't use this radio very often.
Sure, the noise blanker's off.
No, I never use noise blankers. No, I just don't use them because I know what they do. But I will use noise limiters.
Hey, it's Sam Cat again. Fill me in on this noise blanker. Should I not be using that?
Break channel 13 for Classic Radio Roundup. Red Baron, stopping in to wave a hand.
Yeah, hello, Red Baron. Hang on there a minute, Spam Can. Hello, Red Baron. Welcome to the Classic Radio Roundup.
Hey, good evening, good evening. Who we got out there, Spitfire?
That's right. Top of the evening on the Classic Radio Roundup. Spitfire 441 on this old Realistic TRC-424 mobile radio.
Hey, Spitfire, sounding good over here in Downingtown. Yeah, we just popped in. We like to pop in once in a while and, tip the hat, give the nod to all you gentlemen. You're all sounding very fine this evening. Red Baron, Downingtown Center, Chester County, and we're back on the side.
Well, good to hear you on there, Red Baron. It's been a while since I heard you, and I'm glad you're still remembering to check in with us. Keep us up to date. Everything's all right on your end. Sounding good as always. Red Baron, Spitfire 441.
All right, Spitfire 441. Hey, thank you very much. Thanks for the red carpet welcome mat there. Much appreciated. I am back on the side here, gentlemen. Have a pleasant evening and enjoy this nice cool weather in August.
Yeah, the end of September and in the middle of August. That's what it is. It was a little bit brisk this morning for sure.
Oh, I'm loving it. I'm loving it. That's all I got to say. I'm not a McDonald's fan, but I'm loving it.
All right, and back up there to the spam can. Yeah, noise blankers are pretty much make everybody's audio sound like crap. The only time they're really good is spark plug noise in the mobile. They'll eliminate spark plug noise. If you got to use it, they work for that. But otherwise, all they do is distort people's audio.
So I got mine on. Is distort going out, coming in, or both? Like I did know the noise blankers for use in vehicles, and I have an A&L and an NV on some of my mobiles, and they work pretty well. Should I have them off for bass use?
Yeah, you don't need a noise blanker on the bass. All it's going to do is distort people's audio. The A&Ls work a little bit different. You can use that as needed. But A&L or noise blankers, they only work on receive. They don't work on your transmit. And the blanker is basically fine in the mobile if you got spark plug noise or fuel pump noise, something like that. It's pretty much pulse noise is all they're really good for. But they're pretty useless on the bass unless your neighbor's out there weed whacking and you want to cover that up for the time being. But if that's not the case, turn it off or it's going to distort people's audio.
That's strange. I turned it off while you were talking, and it's weird. You actually sound like you're chopping a little bit once I turn it off.
Sound like I'm chopping?
It sounds like you're overmodulating a little bit. It sounds like the speaker's a little bit blown out after I turn it off. It's kind of strange. It actually, I don't know if it works really well on my radio or if, I don't know if it's just some weird combination of the audio, but it seems to you sound slightly worse when I turn that off.
Do you hear that, Sandbagger? Can you hear him?
Yeah, I hear him.
Well, what do you got to say to his comment? Did I sound worse with his noise blanker off?
I don't understand why that would be, because noise blankers basically mute the receive on noise pulses, but they can certainly bring your bleed over up because the splatter will activate it and just make a hell of a mess. Noise limiters also distort your audio to some degree too. That's why I turn them off, but I don't understand why you would sound worse with it off. Makes no sense to me.
No, it doesn't make any sense to me either. So I'm not familiar with that Anytone 666, but I guess I assume that there's an indicator when it's on or off, some kind of LED or LCD display telling you it's on or off, or is it just a push in, push out kind of button switch or something?
No, it's a menu-driven radio, and everything gets a little bit louder, including the noise. Sandbagger, while you were talking, I was flipping it on and off too, and you just sound a little bit. It sounds like there's like a little bit more modulation on everybody when I have it on. I don't know if it's just me or if they all work like that. I don't have a ton of radio experience.
Yeah, it just seems to be. Like I said, I'm not familiar with that radio other than I've seen pictures of it. Never used one or saw one up close or anything. But what you're describing sounds exactly opposite of every other radio I've ever worked. The way it works, what you just described. The way you described is if to me was you're on as everybody else is off, and you're off as everybody else is on, as far as results are. You know what I mean?
I do, and doing everything wrong is sort of my hallmark in life, so this actually falls right in line. That's very on brand for Spamcast.
Well, at least you're not breaking your stride then, so, it's all good.
DR9.
If I'm hearing all that background noise you're talking about, too, that all started coming through.
Yeah, I got bleed over. I think there's some skip land noise going on or something. but you're strong enough that it's not really bothering you. It's just making it a little bit messy. Copy on the VR9.
That's what you need to turn.
Yeah, when I get some spare time, I'll make an adjustment on that. Fire up the O-scope. Oh, not directly, but somewhat related. Talking with Very Weak. He has a HP 141T, and he's going to let me have it for a good price. So I just wanted that IF section. He goes, well, I'll sell you the IF section and give you the rest of it.
Yeah, I probably have a couple of them sitting around in the basement. I don't know how good any of it is, but I'd be willing to give them to you.
I thought we'd went through this once before, and you gave me an RF section. I think it was the lower frequency RF section, and I tried to locate it recently, and I don't know where it is. It's got to be here somewhere, and I can't imagine a wife would throw something like that out. But I can't lay my hands on it, and I know I need the IF section is where my issue lies.
Yeah, I'm stretching my memory. I've got a whole, 141T mainframe, and if I remember right, I had an IF section, but there's something wrong with it because it would blow fuses, if I remember right. And then I had an RF section that was like really low frequency, and I may have had a standard one too. But yeah, I'll have to check and see what I have.
I think you gave me a lower frequency RF section, like I said, and I tried it or did something. I don't know. We're going back a whiles now. I don't remember exactly, but anyway, I can't lay my hands on it because I don't know where it is, but it's here somewhere. It has to be. Maybe it's with my ladder line that's missing. But anyway, I was basically talking with Dave. I want to take a tour of his shack. I want to see the interesting things he's got going on. And it just sort of hit me that he mentioned a guy he knew that repairs old test equipment. And I asked him about it. And he goes, you don't need to repair it. I got parts. So one way or another, I want to get mine back up to snuff. And the only thing that's wrong with mine is the sensitivity's way down. And if I want to try and put my 6-meter machine back on the air, which I do, I need it. I need it. I know where to get it. I want it. I need it now.
Don't you have a Chinese spectrum analyzer? Doesn't that work?
No, I don't. I got a Chinese O-scope. I got the VNA, and I was thinking about there's a nano spectrum analyzer. I was thinking about pulling the trigger on, but I'd rather use the 141T with the tracking generator if I can make it work again.
Yeah. Green Dragon's got one of those Chinese, it's a handheld spectrum analyzer. It's pretty nice for portability reasons anyway. But, yeah. I wonder if your VNA would work. Doesn't that have like a signal generator capability in there? You can use that as a same kind of setup?
Well, I have used it to try and tune the cans because it has a an input and an output, so you can complete the circle circuit as it were, and it doesn't report the same as the spectrum analyzer. I tried it and I thought I was doing good, and it shows you, I guess, the same thing because it shows you where the the best SWR is, and then the notch and all, and where the notch isn't. So I was trying that, but I didn't seem to be successful. I mean, it shows you the same sort of picture, but I think it's different. I don't know how to explain different, but I guess it should be the same though. Or it's different.
Same, only different.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. But I guess I got so used to using that spectrum analyzer that I think I need to interpret things a little bit different on the VNA. Maybe I'll just try it again. Because I guess it should show you the same thing, right? The notch and the roll off of the notch and all that.
Well, I mean, the whole idea of, yeah, you put a signal in, and you're sweeping. So a network analyzer should do that. You can put it on in a sweep mode where it goes through the frequencies, and it's got a sweep generator, and you should be able to see where the notches are. Your nulls. But I have no experience with a VNA, so I don't know. Maybe I'm barking up a wrong tree or something, but I know I had a full size network analyzer once back in the day, and one of those 50-pound jobs, and I used to be able to use that for that kind of thing.
I know it. It's coming back to me now. I know what it is. It shows the picture in reverse. And it was hard for me to interpret that picture in reverse. In other words, the deepest notch on the VNA is the best SWR, where on the spectrum analyzer, the worst SWR is the deepest notch, and the highest, line on the spectrum analyzer is your best SWR. And that's where I was having trouble, because it's kind of an inverse picture, and it was harder for me to interpret, if you're following me now.
Okay, it's the difference between SWR and return loss.
Yeah, I guess I was so used to seeing, the deep notch is obviously your worst SWR. And then you have to tune for that best SWR, and it comes into this little tiny peak on the spectrum analyzer. And it's harder to see it that way on the VNA, because your best SWR is the deepest notch. And then that was the easy part. Like, you could make that notch narrow and deep, but that's your best SWR. But it's harder to tune the actual notch.
Yeah, I see what's going on there. The VNA is showing it to you as return loss. And the higher the number of return loss, the better your impedance match is. So it's kind of inverse from what you're used to, because you don't really want to tune the peak; you want to tune the null. That's the sharpest point. So yeah, it's bass backwards.
Well, yeah, it's bass backwards, but see, there's you got to tune the deepest notch, but you also have to tune the pass band for the best SWR, and that's this little tiny, right off the edge of the cliff peak, right before the cliff takes off into the notch. And I can see that on the spectrum analyzer. That part of it is hard to see on the VNA. That's where I was having the issue.
Okay. You still have the tracking generator. Did I give you that?
You gave it to me, bought it as the package, however it turned out to be. I have it.
Yeah, I got something else too that goes with it. I'm trying to think what the hell that is. I'd have to look. It's been a long time.
Yeah. I really need a spectrum analyzer to tune them cans. I imagine I could eventually, figure my way through the VNA, and it does have a sweep function, and I think, and I don't think I've ever tried that. I think I just tried it, the straight whatever. I think it has a sweep. I'll have to look at that again. Maybe I'll have to try it that way and see if that works. But in any event, the one of them Chinese handheld spectrum analyzers, I've thought about pulling the trigger on that, and it'll probably give me the results I want, but it's still, the screen's pretty small, and I like the bigger picture. So if I could get my actual HP working again, I would prefer that over a Chinese handheld for the spectrum analyzer. Plus, it was always fun to hook it up to an antenna and just look at spectrum with it too. It's always cool.
So what wrong with DHP? I forget.
Something along the lines, I was working on somebody's amplifier, I don't remember who it was, Night Train or somebody. It doesn't matter who. Somebody. I was working on their amp or preamp or something. I don't remember the details. And something zorched or zapped from that amp. Whether I forget the details, I honestly do. But somehow something I did somewhere along the lines, something happened, and I overloaded the front end of the HP.
So that's the RF section, not the IF.
Well, the IF is where you put everything in. That's where you plug into. The RF section is just the tuner. The IF section is with all the attenuators and stuff.
Right, but the RF is what it's going to hit first.
Well, I'm not well, you might be right about that, but I think I remember trying that other RF section and it was just as deaf. I think it was just as deaf. But now I'd have to revisit and test all that. I'm not sure, but I thought it had to do with the attenuators. I thought it goes to all that stuff first.
Skip land. Well, see, that's just it. I mean, the RF section's got attenuators in it. The IF section has sweep controls and additional IF attenuation, but the RF section's got your front end. And if I remember right, there should be a fuse in the RF section in the coax. So like if you go over whatever power, I think it blows the fuse and it's in line. And if you replace the fuse, it might fix it. Breaker. There's Mr. Train.
Well, good evening, gentlemen. I've been laying here listening to you guys. I was waiting for an opportunity to get in.
Yeah, sorry, we're kind of hogging it up on strange things today.
Yeah. Hello, Night Train. Yeah, I don't mean to hog it, but sometimes we hit on these topics and they turn into long-winded discussions. But yeah, I'd have to revisit all that. I did just look at it, and yeah, that is where the attenuator is on the RF section. I don't recall. Maybe it is the RF section that's bad, and maybe I didn't use the other RF section because it was too low in frequency, maybe. But I can't be sure of that because I don't know where it is.
I might have given you that low RF section, and yeah, it would be too low.
I think that's so. I maybe never even tried it because it wasn't in my frequency range anyhow.
Yeah.
Well, it was working real good when you tuned up my Browning, and we didn't put no linear amplifier into it.
No, it wasn't you. I don't know why. Maybe because it was around that time frame. But I was working on somebody's something, and I did something wrong, and I zorched the front end and made it deaf. It still works, but it's deaf.
You probably got to replace some resistors right there where he burnt them out. What you think, Bagger?
Yeah, that's possible. It could have blown attenuator resistors. But like I said, I think that I'm pretty sure there's a fuse in line in the RF, in your coax line. There's an inline fuse, a little tiny thing, and it's there to protect yourself from getting zorched. And if you put too much signal in, it blows the fuse. And of course, with the fuse blown, yeah, it's going to be deaf. But if you replace the fuse, you might be up and running again. Who knows?
I vaguely remember going down this road once before, and then I don't know. I think I found that fuse and didn't find it blown, or now I don't quite remember it. And to be sure of that, how the heck I'm trying to pull it out? How the heck do I pull this thing out? I pull that tab out and unlock it, and then what?
I think the fuse is. I think it unscrews from the RF input. I think it unscrews. I don't know. You probably shouldn't go by what I'm saying because it's been a long time since I've played with one of them.
Well, if it unscrews from the front, I don't really see how. It's an end connector. And looking in there, it looks like one of the fingers is broke off on the end connector, which isn't good. Don't know when that happened. But it looks like the BNC ones would unscrew. Well, maybe it does have flats on it, so maybe it does unscrew. I wonder if I had never even looked at that.
I don't know.
You might be onto something good.
So how does this thing pull out, though? I know it pulls out. Do I got to unconnect something from the back, or is it just unlock this thing from the front?
The modules, there's just a little slide lever on the front. You pull it out and you pop it out and it just slides out.
So, all right, I got it pulled out. I can put my finger through a hole in it. That lever with the black lever with the little arrow on it, that's pulled out. And then I should just be able to pull the RF section out, right? It doesn't seem to want to come.
I think the RF and the IF might be like connected together, so you got to pull both out.
Aha, yeah, they come out together. And then you say this end connector unscrews and there's a fuse in the end connector?
I seem to remember that. I might be mixing it up with something else, but I think there's a fuse in there.
There should be, just in case he overloaded.
Well, yeah, that's the whole point.
That's probably what's been wrong for the last 6 years.
That would kind of suck in a way. Something so ungodly simple.
Yeah, but that's the way it happens sometimes, man. I get to troubleshooting on something real simple and find out the coax connector is not connected.
Yeah, I want to shoot myself in the face when I run across something like that. You know, you're busy ripping and tearing and trying to figure out something in some stupid little thing. And you're like, what?
Yeah, you're ready to get the Sam's manual and see if you can trace some voltages, and then you say, hey, wait a minute. This thing ain't even plugged in.
There must be another step to this somehow. So I unscrewed basically the outside of the end connector. Now I can see the brass center pin of the end connector. Now if I start pulling on what's left, there's that basically hard line in there. I can see it threads in with a SMA connector to something else. But if I pull on that, this piece that moves, and it does move some, but it's pulling on that hard line.
Well, don't go yanking on stuff. You may break something.
Yeah, and then you'll be worse off.
Well, if there's a fuse, it would be under this little cover thing, I would think, but you would think that would slide off, but it seems to be pulling this whole hard line. It's on the inside that you can see in the slot.
I would have thought the fuse was inside the connector. You know, because it's got that big fat connector there. I'm going to gold digger around Northern California to get that coax.
Well, hang on. Things are coming apart here.
Gold digger around Mount Shasta, California, waiting.
Gold diggers out there in California hollering bagger.
Who's what, where?
Well, there's no fuse, but I don't think this center pin was supposed to pull out because it looks like the center conductor of the hard line came out with it.
Oh, no.
I wonder if that's the whole issue, though. It's just not connected in that hard line. Maybe I just need that new hard line piece.
Where you at, man? What's your 20?
Well, it certainly wouldn't hurt,
Hey, brother.
especially since it came apart.
I think I'm pointing west, man. I think this house is 21st right now, so I must be out the back door.
That man's all the way out there in California. He's got his beam pointed west, and he's making the trip up here.
I don't hear anything.
I hear him.
He said he believed you have it pointed west. I got a question for you, Pete, after you finish troubleshooting.
Well, I'm done troubleshooting for now because I'm just going to get myself into trouble without complete concentration and proper tools. So I'm putting this back together for now, and there's no fuse or even possibility of a fuse where Dave's saying that I can see. But further investigation is obviously required.
Well, maybe I'm on drugs. Hey, 64.
No, you ain't on drugs. You just a down getter.
64 Golden. What are you running tonight anyway? Your audio's kind of low.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask Pete about. I'm on the Regency Imperial, and the only thing I have is the stock mic for it. And I'm wondering if any of those little screwdriver holes on the side would turn up my modulation.
Hello, towards the island.
Yes, one of them is mic gain. At this point, I don't even know if I have a manual. But I know there's a pair of holes for load and plate on one side and another hole for mic gain on the other side. Refresh my memory what holes you got on what side.
Alright, on the left side, it's got 2 holes. Let me just check to see for sure. No, it's got 3 holes on the left side. And on the right side, it's got 1.5 holes. I think one of them holes is not factory. But I got 5 holes altogether.
Appreciate it, man. No doubt. Ground plane's doing its job. No doubt. I just had to turn the house and be able to get a little bit more received. I was talking out the back door a minute ago.
I assume you don't have the SAMs for that radio. But now I'll try and remember the 3 holes and the 1 hole. I think the 1 hole is your mic gain, and 2 of the 3 on the left are I think 1 might be meter 0. I think 1 is meter 0 and the other 2 are your load and plate. But to remember which one is which, I have to either look at it or see the SAMs. But I think the one on your right side is your mic gain.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to mess up the whole kit and caboodle by turning the wrong one.
Well, I'm 99% sure that the one by itself is the mic gain. The other 3 is load, plate, and I think meter 0. I'm pretty sure about that.
For truck up there in Kentucky.
10-4. Yeah, he's talking into Ohio, but he's in California. Goldfinger is his name. He got good ears.
Just did a little bit of Google searching. The common failure in those things when you overload them, there's a pair of diodes in the front end, and I guess they're protection diodes or something, but they tend to go bad. They short out, I guess. That might be something. That may be the issue.
Yeah, well, I'd have to locate those, and that would be part of the problem. But now I think that my end connector is miscombobulated too. That center pin shouldn't have pulled out, so I'm pretty sure that that's not an actual physical connection anymore for that center pin to the center of the hardline coax.
So you think you broke it?
Either it was broke or I broke it, but I don't think I pulled it hard enough to broke it, so I think it was already broke.
I could certainly cause the thing to be deaf if you don't have a connection.
Yeah, it may be very as simple as that. So probably this weekend on my time off, I got nothing to do, I'll do something about it.
You'll have something to do. You'll have yard work.
Well, oh, that turned it down. That made it worse, right, Baggers?
Roger. It sounds about the same audio-wise.
Yeah, I don't hear any difference. But yeah, that thing's pretty good sounding. But Regency Imperial, even with the stock mic, there's so much mic gain in that thing that you should be able to get it louder on the stock mic.
I'm up, Keith.
Yeah, I think I got it. Come back and let me know that it get louder.
It felt like your signal got stronger, but I can't tell because I don't have a meter. But the audio is about the same.
All right, let me play around a little bit.
That's all I'm doing right now. Don't have my phone. There you go. Play with it if you got it.
Yeah, I don't have my phone or my tablet. Well, I don't have my phone. My tablet's in use on the video gate, so I can't go looking stuff up for you. But you should be able to do a Google search and figure out which of those controls are which. And yeah, I no longer have the SAMs for it, so. But Dave has the SAMs for it, so he should be able to point that out for you real quick if he can find that SAMs.
I don't have the SAMs for the Imperial, I don't think. I think I've got the SAMs for the range gain.
Same. It's the same exact 100% layout, except for the detector tube.
Yeah, for sideband.
So if you have the range gain, it's got the same controls in the same places.
All right, let me see if I can dig that up out of my drawer here. I don't remember what number it is, though.
Yeah, I had the SAMs for both the Imperial and Imperial 2, and now I got neither. So, and we're going back a few years of my memory on them controls, but I do know there's meter zero, load and plate, mic gain. Those are the holes in there.
Yeah, this one seems like it had one extra hole in the back, but I have no idea. Not in the back, but on the right-hand side up high. It does not look factory. Looks like a little butcher job, like somebody did something.
Yeah, if there's a hole up high, it's a butcher job. That's not factory, so disregard that. The holes look like, they're like, there's a circle around the hole, a factory hole.
Right, and this other one don't have the circle. And whatever it is that they have put in there is kind of visible. I don't even want to turn that because I don't know what they done put in here.
Yeah, and I think that is getting up to the oscillator cans. And those oscillator cans on that radio were so touchy. You do not really want to mess with that unless you have to.
Roger that. Well, I tell you one thing. That's a very beautiful, warm incoming. I mean, you guys both sound real good tonight. Wholesome. 10-4.
Well, if it's any consolation for your kind of audio I know you look for, you're on the mark. You really are. If you do turn it up, you don't want to turn it up too much, or you wouldn't be your high train approval. You'd be getting on closer to the Spitfire approval.
Sound fine to me, Night Train.
Hey, Wayne, what's going on, man?
Nothing, I'm just listening.
Hey, boy. Yeah, they think I could be a little louder.
Your audio is equivalent to Pete's and Dave's. No way.
No, it's not that loud, but it's pretty good. It's certainly louder than what you would expect from a stock mic.
Yeah, that's all they came through with, right? But they were double sideband, AM modulated, or something or another.
Well, it's a low carrier. It's double sideband, AM suppressed carrier. Or so everything these swing monster mod people do, that radio came from the factory as. In other words, You shouldn't expect more than a couple of watts of dead key out of it, but it'll modulate to 10, 12 watts.
Yeah, but that rascal didn't have the power to even trigger my high gain afterburner.
It should be putting out 2 watts carrier, no?
Well, I don't know, but it wouldn't. It triggered the sonar, but it wouldn't do the high gain afterburner. So I got the sonar, the BR21 in there.
Quickie break.
Oh yeah, dear break.
Hey, what's up, man? You recognize this voice?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. You're natural high. How you doing, man?
I'm not too good, not too good. I think one that passed away was Los Angeles.
Who passed away?
I did.
How could you pass away and then be talking to me on the radio?
I went into a coma, quick coma.
How long were you in there?
2.5 weeks.
Oh wow. Does that have anything to do with diabetes?
Nah, it was the prostate cancer, then I got another type, and that's it.
Now, how old are you, natural high?
You remember when I tell you I was going through chemotherapy and peace? The prostate cancer, what I went through it. Then like after that, I went through a heart attack.
So you had a heart attack. Were you in the hospital when you had the heart attack?
No, I was coming home. I was coming home from the supermarket.
Oh wow, so you're blessed to be alive, man. You're blessed to be alive. And how do you know you was in the coma for 2.5 weeks?
Prostate cancer. I've been active for you. Nobody been hiding.
Yeah, I mean, if you were in a coma, definitely you would be missing 10-4.
Yeah, I've been looking for you. I was looking for you to wave my hand to you, my brother.
Roger that. Well, I'm certainly glad to hear from you, man. Wow. How old are you, natural high?
64.
Yeah, it's a little early for all of that trauma. Now, you're not smoking no cigarettes or nothing now, right? You don't smoke any cigarettes now, do you?
No. I had to cut it out.
No, I cut it out. Did you cut it out?
I didn't leave it for good.
10-4. Yeah, well, I certainly hope you get better, man. It's real nice to hear you there, 10-4.
Yeah, the numbers almost gone, and I mean, your fees there, but
Yeah, that was rough. That was rough. I've been coming on, but I've been doing it sporadic. My life has been so busy lately there, 10-4.
yeah, man. So before he goes, man, I'm going back to for surgery on the 29th, and I'll be coming home that same day.
All right, on the 29th.
Yeah.
All right, well, come down to 13, man. When you recuperate, just holler. Let me know how you doing there, 10-4.
Oh, yeah. That time I spoke to Gumby, he told me I was, 2.5 weeks. And I said, I didn't even heard him.
Yeah, 10-4 on the 2.5 weeks. Well, I don't want to tie it up on this end, but it's real nice to hear from you, and I'm glad that you didn't die there, 10-4.
Yeah, I hear you, man. Gumby and I leave you my phone number out there. Gumby and I
All right, well, Gumby do have my number, and you have my permission to get it from him there, 10-4.
All right, definitely. Let me see when he called me. I was to Gumby and I and try to get you right.
All right, yeah, 10-4. Yeah, tell Gumby that I said it's all right.
All right, definitely we do that.
All right, natural high. You be well there, 10-4. You too, man. All right, train on the side. Channel's clear.
All right.
Alright, you too. Alright, we're going back to Classic Radio Roundup there, Natural High. The pleasure is mine, man, and do keep in touch there. 10-4?
Okay, I will do that.
Roger that. Train clear. What you got, Bagger?
Well, on my lap right now, I have a Regency Imperial. And I looked at the SAMs for the range gain. Oh, let me fix this.
Yeah, there's old Freebird that just flew one in. How you guys doing tonight?
Okay, here we go. According to this,
Hold up, Freebird.
the mic gain is on the left-hand side. There are 3 holes, and the one furthest to the back is the mic gain.
Alright, Bagger, I'm going to see if I can get this thing to come up. Yeah.
Oh, I had the wrong one. There's a meter 0 in there, though, isn't there?
The other 2 are the meter adjustment and the meter 0.
Oh, okay. And then the one on the other side, then that must be the final tune.
Well, the final tune is a knob on the front panel.
Yeah, well then, what's the one on the right side then? See, I'm all messed up then. I knew I was partly right.
Yeah, I think they changed between the Imperial and the Imperial 2. Although, interestingly enough, the case on this Imperial, on the back it says range gain 2. I guess it's not the original case.
Specifications are subject to change. Alright, Bagger, this should be a little bit better than if that was the mic gain. I turned it all the way up.
There you are.
I got it?
Yeah, it's got stronger.
Good. Did I lose my smooth?
No.
No, it just got louder.
Good. So we're going to leave it like that. That's fine. I appreciate that a lot. I don't guess we need to worry about the other 2 knobs, because I'm pretty happy where the meter is, and whatever that is on the other side, I messed with it and don't know what I was messing with.
Sounds good, Night Train.
10-4, Wayne.
Let me see what I can figure out what the other one was. But yeah, if your meter doesn't go all the way down to 0, then the 0 has to be adjusted. But other than that, yeah.
What's up there, Night Train, JR? What you guys up to?
Well, that's not JR. That's Sam Bagger, and Pete's in there, and Wayne is in there also. Renegade. Hello there, Freebird. Train waving at you.
What's going on there, Night Train? Yeah. Understood. Everybody doing good?
Yeah, I guess my memory's not as good as it used to be there. Didn't mean to mislead you there, Night Train, so it's a good thing Sandbagger came to the rescue. I knew there was a mic gain on the side somewhere.
Yeah, well, now I'm glad I know where it is. And I'm also glad that, hold on, Freebird. I'm also glad that I didn't lose the smooth, because the radio has a certain quality that I'm looking for. A sound coming in. It's nice and wholesome.
Yeah, I like those range gains and Imperials. They're really good radios. And I sort of miss mine. But, life goes on.
Yeah, I understand. I don't know how you got rid of yours, because you had it way back when we first started.
Well, if you miss it so badly, I'll give it back to you.
Yeah, well, that one you've got because it had an issue that I couldn't tune it anymore. It fell on its face and I couldn't fix it.
Yeah, I forget what's wrong with this thing. I know I fired it up once when I finally got the cord on it. And it didn't receive, and it did. Well, I couldn't make it transmit because I don't have a mic plug for it. It's got that oddball Amphenol connector on it, and I don't have one.
Well, it's not going to receive, or is it going to transmit because the problem's in the stinking oscillator. I couldn't get it to oscillate right anymore. That oscillator's so stinking touchy, and there's something wrong in that oscillator section. And as far as the other one goes, I sold it because I got offered a crazy amount of money, so I took the crazy money.
Yeah, that's often an irresistible thing.
You You don't say.
Yeah. Like when people offer me crazy money for something, like, you know, it's hard to pass up crazy money, even though I really like the radio. So just keep that in mind. How bad do you want the Demco?
Yeah, well, I think I'm going to stick with my Mark 4A because I'm satisfied with the, you know, the fact that it was brand new and I was the first one to take it out of the box.
I think the Demco will probably be my last CB radio I ever get rid of because that thing is just too cool and nobody else has one.
There's no need to get rid of it, so hold on.
Bagger, I do have some news for you.
Oh?
Brainy saw a cameraman.
Oh, yeah? So he's still on this side of the dirt.
That is correct, but he was in the doctor's office when he saw him, or he went in here for something, and there was cameraman. So, but he didn't get back to me to tell me, you know, how he was doing, what was his condition, how did he look, you know, what was he going through? Hello, thank you, please, you know, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah, I guess he didn't have an opportunity to talk to him. That's a shame. But it's good to hear that he's still around.
And Brady can kind of be a little bit, is this all right with the mic right here, Bagger?
Beautiful.
All right, so, because I mean, I don't have to eat it no more there. 10-4.
No, it's good now. You got some extra mic gain.
Yeah, because I didn't think these things needed no D104.
Come on, Beacon, man.
No, when I ran mine, I ran an unamplified D104 and still didn't even have the mic gain all the way up.
Smoke.
Get in it. 10-4, yeah. Yeah, you know, it's funny, most of my D1, and you got to get that big old Amphenol connector, and you got to know which wire to go where. I'm done. I'm stuck.
What I did was Amphenol connector, and then just wired it to a 4-pin, you know, female or male or male, whatever, plug, a socket. And then I just plugged my D104 in on that. Just made an adapter granter.
Come back.
Hey, 10-4. All right, anyhow, Freebird was standing by. Freebird, you still there?
Get in there. One more time. Come back. Preach.
Oh my goodness, with the skip land. Go away.
Yeah, you should hear his you should hear what he just said.
I didn't hear anything.
Oh, I heard it. I just didn't understand it because it's all and that's what it sounded like to me.
Down getters. Talk to you later. Talk to you tomorrow. Anytime. No talk about it. You had it. Oh, crap. I'm starting to hear it. Must be getting stronger. California. Black Panther. Hey, good night.
California coming in like really strong. And they ain't saying anything understandable other than that.
There's only one person I want to talk to in California, but I don't know if his antenna's back up. He said he got blown down in a storm.
Is his name Goldfinger?
No.
Hey, Freebird, did we lose you? I think Freebird got disappointed.
Well, maybe he's, going to see a man about a horse or something.
10-4. Yeah, I appreciate y'all helping me get this mod working. Yeah, I'm serious. I just didn't know which one of those witches was which.
Well, like Pete said earlier, it's part of the appeal of classic radio roundup is to get these old buggers working.
Go ahead there, breaker channel.
Classic radio roundup just went on the toilet.
Right now, 1, 2, 3, you compete with California. Give give you an idea.
Yeah, he's giving me like 10 pounds over here. He's freaking knocking me out of discombobulation. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, hello, 123. I hear you, but you better make it quick before California comes back in.
They're putting me up. I know. I'm trying. How you guys doing?
I'm doing good. Hey, I got a quick report for you there, beggar. That I pulled that end connector out of the RF section and the SMA connector to the antennator, and there's no continuity from the center pin to the center pin.
Well, that ain't good.
Now you done found something, Pete.
Yep, and I got a SMA to BNC that I could put in that hole. So I just changed the input, that's all.
Yeah, man, and we can bring our radios over and you can put them on the spectrum analyzer.
Well, I have to be sure that that's the actual issue, but I'm going to try that first, put my BNC to SMA in that hole and hook that up, and then I'll give it a try and see if it works.
Incidentally, 123, you got a bunch of echo in your modulation.
I do. There's a bunch of it in there. I didn't know that. Let me see. Let me turn that right there. How's that?
It's still there. You're in a wind tunnel.
I'm in the wind tunnel tonight. All right. Let me try to turn something down or turn something around. Sure that's not a trash can? I got the big can microphone.
Yeah, that right. You got your head inside of something.
How's that there?
Just a little better there, 10-4.
Okay. All right. Making adjustments, you know. Trying to sound like the big radios.
And the big radios don't have echo in them.
Classic radio roundup.
Now, I know. I'm trying to sound like the big radios. Go ahead there. Classic radio roundup break.
Go, Doug.
Good evening, folks.
Good evening, Badger.
Hello, Doug.
Hello, Doug.
Yeah, we're gonna make my grand appearance. I'm on vacation this week, so I've got no schedule.
Hi, Doug.
Hello, Wayne.
So what you doing with yourself, Doug?
You what?
What are you doing with yourself?
Just having a staycation, right?
Damn, boy. Hey, man, you sounding good tonight.
Well, I appreciate it. Yeah, I just watched TV for a while with the XYL and had to get up and make sure I still could move around the house. So, but good to hear everybody in there. So I'll be on the side.
Did she fall asleep on you and then you snuck to the radio?
That was the plan.
Yeah, just wait till she falls asleep, then you make a mad dash. 10-4?
That's right.
As mad as he can.
Sounds like you're speaking from experience.
She gave me a break tonight. She was going to lay here and go to sleep, you know, because she was tired. But then I seen her, she went to the living room, lay on the sofa, so I kind of got the room to myself, man. A little break. 10-4. Specifications are subject to change. Terms and conditions may apply.
Oh, we all like to hear Mrs. Train, so.
10-4, yeah. I'm glad to get this thing working, man.
Yeah, sounds good, man. Sounds real good over here.
10-4, I appreciate it. Where are you anyway? 123. Where's your perch?
I'm at the usual spot up here behind the Bahama Breeze.
10-4. I think about you sometime, man, when I'm be traveling around down through there. I'm like, it's probably where 123 be, you know, but I don't know. I don't know it well enough. But when I think about you when I passed that McFacton High School because of the height.
Oh yeah, you know that Methacton High School. That's my spot when I'm in that area. Yeah, that's like the Collegeville area spot.
Yeah, you should get up on the roof of that Methacton High School, man. Hey, be up on the roof. Officer says, what are you doing up there, sir?
I don't know how to get up there.
I don't know either. It might not be a bad idea to run a little coax up on that high school and get yourself an antenna, and then paint it whatever the color of the brick is, the coax, and then when you're ready to hook in, you just come and you hook in.
Yeah, I hear that. Well, I got another trick up my sleeve, but I'll save that for another time.
10-4. I did it, man, when I had the apartment down in West Oak Lane. I put an antenna up on the one of the bathroom vents up there, them black pipes. And I threw the coax over the people's porch and right straight down to my window. 10-4.
Yep. Yeah, back in the day we were brazen.
There you go.
And the thing of it is, I wasn't like concerned or anything. It was like, well, that's just a coax running down there, that's all.
Yeah, nobody goes up there on that roof worrying about my coax.
Right, and the roof, the thing was a few 100 feet long, because it was from apartment whatever to apartment whatever. I was in I, and my sister, she lived in G or H or whatever, I can't remember. But anyhow, she lived on the 3rd floor. I lived on the ground level. So what I did was I got a little ladder and went out on her porch and went up and walked over. After I got everything all hooked up, then I just strung the coax on down to my window. And nobody never bothered me. After I got out of it, then a guy asked me could he buy that kit and caboodle. I said yeah, and he bought it off of me. He wanted to use it to spy on people's telephones. Them wireless telephones. You can tune into people's conversations.
Jeez, you sold it to a creeper.
Yeah, I remember those days. That was fun.
Bagger, he just called you a creeper.
It's even more fun with a 900 megahertz transverter, 25 dB gain antenna, and 50 watts. You can cover up the other person.
Oh, yeah. I used to do it with 5 watts on 6 meters.
Damn, 4. Yeah, but you can hear the little ladies talking, tune in on the conversation, find out what JoJo done did today.
I could hear all over the Lansdale area with that 900 megahertz high gain antenna.
Well, is it like a bunch of voices all at once?
No, just a bunch of different frequencies. Actually, if I stayed on one frequency and just spun the antenna around, I could hear different conversations.
Yeah, that's called creepy sandbagging.
Yeah, it's fun sandbagging. Although, sometimes you heard things that you wish you didn't hear.
Hey, it's Spam Can again. I paid a hooker a lot extra one time for creepy sandbagging.
Oh, that was definitely TMI.
Hey, boys, I'm going to sign out for tonight. I got to go grab me some supper. It was good talking to y'all. Thank you again for the help setting up my radio.
Yeah, you're sounding real good now, Spam Can. Good, clean audio coming out of that station. So just run it like that and everything will be good. So glad we could help out. Harris, have a great night. Hope to hear you next week. Countywide.
That's what I like to hear. Since you're doing an ad for the Classic Radio Roundup, let me do one for Sideband Sunday. Hopefully I'll see you guys then, and maybe we can dial in some settings for Sideband for me on this thing so I don't blow out all your eardrums sounding horrible.
10-4. Probably be in there Sideband Sunday night. You're always welcome to join us there, too. 7-3, and have a great night.
Get this on the gate too. I just switched over to I just dropped the number. I went from the TRC-47 to the TRC-46. I just wanted to hear what this thing sounds like on the gate. So just wanted to, identify what I'm running. There we go.
1 hour and 44 minutes in.
I was going to tell you, Bagger, you switched radios, and I'm going to tell you what I thought you switched to. I thought you jumped on that 2547, with all of the modifications for good modulation. That's what I thought you jumped on. You should hear how nice that thing sounds, man.
Oh, you like the sound of this TRC-46?
Why, certainly. That rascal's train approved.
Yeah, this one's got a very, very stubborn modulation limiter in it. It's built into the chip, I think, because there's no adjustments and there's no feedback circuit. It just it will not let this thing go over about 85 or 90% modulation. At least, well, until I drop the carrier power down a little bit more. Then I think it'll do 100% now if I whistle hard. But it is smooth. It's very smooth. It's not going to get loud and boisterous. It's very smooth.
Well, smooth is better on the ear anyway. You know what I mean? For a nice sitting around talking, just having a classic radio roundup.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you're, S9 or better, and you're local, smooth is always better. But if you're trying to make contact in the distance, helps to have a little bit more audio punch. It cuts through the noise a little better.
And 10-4, Bagger, when you go in to check it out, I just want to announce that I'm on a Regency Imperial with a Regency Imperial stock mic, which is by Turner. That's the little gold one that has the waffle iron for a grill.
Yeah, it looks like a +2, only it's not amplified.
Yeah, and it's black and gold. Yeah, so that's what I'm on, and I just want to go on there for the record, just in case. Train.
Yeah. Yeah, I gotta make a habit of making sure I identify what I'm talking on if I switch. So it goes to the gate. What the heck was I on at that point?
You know what? I didn't even know what you were on from the beginning, because I was so concerned about this one that I didn't ask you guys what y'all were running.
Yeah, I started off with a TRC-47, which it was a very basic sideband radio from Realistic. It had no meter on it. Volume scope, RF gain clarifier, and 23 channels, and upper and lower sideband, and a modulation light, a nice little amber modulation light. And of course, now I'm on its bigger brother, the TRC-46, which is a little older actually. This one came first. And this one's got, a built-in power supply. It's actually technically a base / mobile. It's about the size of a good-sized mobile, but it can run on a base.
It also sounds better than the first one. I was going to say, Bagger changed radios.
I did indeed. Every now and then, though, this one kind of warps when I key it, but that's the way it goes sometimes.
That's because you haven't used it enough. What about you, Pete? What were you running?
Realistic TRC-424, 40 channel AM mobile.
Oh, 424.
Yeah.
That was a double.
He said he thought it was 424.
It is 424.
You said 454.
No, I said 424.
You said 454.
On your door.
Oh, we got the gate to prove it.
Well, if I said it, that's not what I meant. I was looking right at the numbers, so I must be really losing it.
Yeah, it's just a little slip of the tongue, that's all.
424. I don't have a 454.
Hey, who's knocking on your door?
Who's that knocking?
Yeah, who is that knocking?
It's Goose. I can hear him tonight. He must be in his mobile.
Yeah, I can hear him tonight. Yeah, he's not at home.
What's going on, Goose? That was Train that opened the door for you, just so you know it.
I'm at home.
I can hear him too. Wow.
Play radio.
He's not at home.
Santa?
I'm at home. Where else would I be?
Driving up here around Limerick somewhere.
I'm in your backyard on my walkie-talkie.
I believe it, because that's what it sounds like. But you ain't never sounded like this.
Ah, you wonder. He's on that stock mic.
You sound pretty good.
Yeah, he does. I can actually hear him really well tonight.
He said it's Goose's stock mic night.
10-4 on the stock mic night for the Goose.
Goose, I can hear you tonight. Renegade. Oh, what am I giving you there, Pete?
Close to S9.
What, okay. Renegade, what's he giving you? About the same? Well, it's hard for me to tell because it's a Ranger, and I just have lights up here. It's not really a meter. But he's giving me all the lights are lit up. Wow, you hear that, Goose? Yeah, all his lights are lit up. He had all the lights lit up on his Ranger.
You're right in between the S7 and the S9 on a really close 7 and 9 type meter. So probably an 8. Strongest I ever heard you.
Oh, okay.
He's giving me a 6. 123 is giving me a 7.
123 is giving me a 6, and Goose is giving me an 8.
Yeah, I'm on the big boy. It just goes to show you, man, antenna location.
That's for sure.
Yeah, all of that is true.
That makes all the difference. But he's got about 10 more pills than I do.
Speaking about antennas, man, when y'all gonna get over there to help Wayne put that antenna up? I thought everybody was gonna help him.
I was over there Monday and put his antenna up. What are you talking about?
Oh, you got that, I'm talking about the V58.
The night train.
Oh, he's waiting on somebody to take care of that tree work for him first. Otherwise, the thing's just going to get beat up in the tree.
I see. Yeah, somebody gotta help him, man.
Yeah, we got something in the works. We're getting there. I was talking to Wayne about it last night.
I did all I could do. I shot an arrow up over the tree and pulled his wire up.
Yeah, I know. He told us that last night.
10-4.
I think it's better than the first time, isn't it, Wayne?
It's much better. It's up higher, and it seems to be working better.
Yeah, well, if you heard Goose, but then again, like 123 said, Goose got 10 more pills than he had. My God, how many pills you guys got?
I ain't got no pills.
What you got, Goose?
If I had all my pills together, I have a lot. He's got 10 in that box right there.
What is it, MOSFETs or pills?
Oh no, he got the big bad boys and old school Toshibas.
Alright, yeah, because I don't like the MOSFETs. They'll pop on you. Boop.
That's right.
They'll go boop.
Yeah, these are Toshibas. I got MOSFETs. This is MOSFETs right here.
Yeah, well, you better be careful.
Yeah. Don't let your SWR get high.
I've been using this for about a year now. This is pretty good, this radio.
As long as you don't mess with nothing, you go to work and mess with it. Get your screwdriver out.
You better knock on some wood somewhere.
I'm a technician for that. I don't need to get the screwdriver out. It's already been screwdrivered.
For
Oh, no.
Yeah, well, this is a 2x8 Toshiba box.
It's working, Goose.
I hope so.
He's going to be running an 8 pill to give me a 6? Wow.
We're getting better once I get my antenna up higher.
Well, he's giving me an 8, and he's normally like 5 or a 6, so he did something.
Yeah. But if he's running from the base, I can actually hear him now, but he probably doesn't hear me. But 123 is still stronger.
Yeah, and I still got the reverse. Goose is stronger than 123, but 123 seems pretty strong tonight. And Goose was all up underneath you there, Dave. You're stronger than he is, but he was right under there.
Well, there you go.
Can I get him? Can I get him?
No, you can't get him, but I could tell you're there.
Make you go away.
Hey, Goose, can you hear Sandbagger?
No, I can't hear Sandbagger. If I put my car out front of my house, I can hear Sandbagger. But put my antenna in back of my house, I can't hear a bagger.
So now he's an alligator station. You hear him, Dave, but he can't hear you. Alligator.
I guess I need an 8 pill.
No. We just gotta put Goose's antenna up a little higher. First of all, we're gonna do Renegades, and then we're gonna work on Goose's.
10-4.
So Renegade's got priority, and then the Goose, and then I don't know who comes after that. I think the Alley Cat. I put this up by myself. It's up there pretty good for doing it by myself.
Alrighty then.
But we're gonna put it up 20 more feet.
Yeah, then you'll be able to hear a sandbagger.
Yeah, he'll be able to hear a lot of people, man. He's got that antenna's in a dead spot. He can't hear a lot of people in a lot of places.
Yeah, once you get in a nice live spot, you'll enjoy your hobby a whole lot better. I'm like, man, when I first started out, I started out on a 102-inch whip. I had it mounted to the chimney. I didn't know about that it needed a ground plane and a coil to get the exact match, but I was doing the best I can. And then I went and got one of them little 99s, Proton 99. I put that rascal up, and I could hear people down in New Jersey arguing about who been in CB the longest.
My first radio was everything was in a microphone with a train power pack. That was my first radio on a little mobile antenna stuck to the AC.
I like to compare when I first moved out here and put my A99 hanging from a tree branch in my backyard about 20 feet off the ground. And Dave and I could hear each other. We were happy, but it was like S5, S6 neighborhood kind of stuff. And then it's just been going on trying to get the best signal for the last 20 years. And every other thing I tried was small improvements until I went to the 85 foot in the air tree. That was the best improvement out of all of it.
Is your antenna still laying down on the branch?
Well, it's not laying down on a branch. It's hung up by the branch.
Oh, well, last time I know, your antenna was laying down on a tree branch. I told you it was hanging by the branch.
It's hanging by the branch. It's never been laying on a branch.
The hangman.
Okay, so it's hanging upside down by a branch?
No, why would I hang it upside down? What? That's silly.
I don't know, because you're an upside down person. Silly goose.
Well, last I knew, the ground was down and the sky was up. So why am I going to put my ground plane with the ground plane towards the sky?
Where's the ground? I mean, you're trying to get it to bounce off the ground, right?
Silly goose.
I think that's a great idea to have that antenna hanging like that, and especially if you have a pulley up there. Get a tree surgeon and put a pulley up there, and then when you're ready, you just go out there and you jack that rascal up, and you be on the air.
Could put it on a flagpole like that.
Yeah, that would be nice. I wouldn't mind having a hot air balloon, little miniature hot air balloon, and then take an antenna up. It could be a whip, something real light, you know what I mean? And then you fill the little balloon up with gas and you let it go up. You like be the night train, and I just got down.
That's it. I'm buying a weather balloon. I'm going to fill it with helium. I'm going to raise my antenna until I run out of coax.
There you go. Is that your natural high?
Yeah.
I got my modulation up, man. Is it better? Does it sound better on your end?
100%.
10-4 on that 100%. Yeah, they helped me with it, man. I didn't know what to do there. 10-4?
I hear you, yeah. Just pick up your dynamite and pick up your RF and you're ready to go.
10-4, yeah. I didn't know which one to turn. I didn't want to just go turning any one of them. Roger.
I hear you. Ain't night train. I just picked up my power. It sounds better with it?
Well, you're actually a little bit crunchy. I knew that you picked up your power
because it's crunchy a little bit. You gotta lower something, your carrier or whatever. I don't know how to do that. I don't know what you have. Maybe you could just run it on medium, 10-4.
Okay, okay. Let me go on medium. Go on medium.
Yeah, because you got real crunchy. You sound like a television when it go off frequency at real late at night.
You should run it on low and leave it on low.
Yeah, we've been through this earlier tonight. Put it on low. He sounds crunchy here too. He's hard to understand.
Yeah, put it on low there, natural high. You were doing all right when you first came in, 10-4.
All right, natural high's out there. We can't hear him, but he's out there. I got it low right now.
Oh no, something's really wrong. Something's really wrong. You crunchy tonight.
Crunchy, crunchy, crunch. Pick up there. What's his location?
He's in the Reading area.
Oh, okay. Okay, I hear him, but he's just that far out that I can't understand him.
10-4.
Pretty good distance apart.
And I can't still hear him. Great. How about that?
That's better there, natural high. Hold on, natural high. We got a breaker. 10-4.
Hey, good evening. Waving a hand, Skyrider, listening in.
Hello, Skyrider. Welcome to Classic Radio. Roundup train opening the door before you go.
Hello, Skyrider. Spitfire, waving a hand.
Hello, Spitfire. You coming in pretty good tonight?
Working this old Realistic TRC-424 mobile radio. Top of the evening. Yeah, you sound pretty good tonight yourself.
Yeah, it's antenna and location tonight.
Yeah, he's pushing the needle pretty far to the right here.
What you do? You went up on the hill there?
Yeah, I went up on the hill, and I think this is the best location for me, especially on Wednesday nights. You know, go out a little bit further. So, you guys have a pretty good conversation there.
Hey, howdy there, Skyrider. 123 over here, King of Prussia.
Then up on the roof, and my ladder that I want to push up and hang on the eave was 3 foot too short. So I'm back to square one. I'm probably have
I can't hear him.
to go or something to get that thing.
He's still talking.
Off the roof.
You can rent one of them tall ladders, man, from Total Rental around the corner there, and hoist that rascal up. You don't need it that long.
They do weird things, don't they? Even I heard Skyrider tonight. I just want to know you're going to be around. Howdy there, Skyrider. 123 over here, King of Prussia.
I hear you pretty good.
Hey, Ty Rogers, man, you give me 3 whole pounds, 3-pounders.
Well, he squats me out too.
Wow, that's pretty heavy, man. Time to go on a diet.
Roger that. That's just the old stock general on the stock mic.
Yeah, 10-4 on the stock mic. You and Goose on the stock mic tonight.
Stock mic night.
Stock mic.
You wouldn't like me on my stock mic.
Yes, we would. Well, this is a stock mic. Stock mic.
There you go.
The beautiful thing about a stock mic is that you can lay on the bed, put your head on the pillow, and just talk.
You can do that with a mobile amplified mic too.
String a wire to it.
Yeah, that's true. But them D104s become cumbersome.
Oh, I could do it with my D104. All right, you asked for it. You got it. Realistic stock mic.
You're all right, Pete. There's nothing wrong with you.
There's everything wrong with it.
Mike?
Ask him. Ask Bagger.
Ask me what?
Sounds like a stock mic.
Yeah, you and Train sound very similar.
Mike?
Stock mic.
Oh, if I sound like Train on this, then maybe that's not so bad.
Yeah, I tell you, it's a stock mic, but it's not a low stock mic. It's got good audio.
Sounds good, Pete.
It's your regular old garden variety realistic stock mic.
They sound good, man. I love them old realistic stock mic.
I like it too. Real nice.
The square one, right?
Yeah, the square one, not that newer fancy one they tried to come out with. Those really stink.
Yeah, those old square ones, man. I got a bunch and I got a dozen of them. I love them.
Truth of it is, you sound good, Pete.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess it's acceptable then.
Stock mic.
For my GE, I love that mic.
But now I have to sit like closer to the radio. I can't sit back on my easy chair.
That's what I like the best about amplified mics. You can lay back and talk at an arm's length.
Yeah, relax in my easy chair, and then I can make my chair squeak so everybody can complain about it.
You know, I'm surprised that some of those radios allow an amplified mic even in their front end. You know, I'm surprised, really, because you figure, you know, they didn't know you were going to use a power mic. You know, you're going to be using big old giant D104s in front of a little tiny mobile. Those people in Japan didn't know that. Good.
Well, I've been using D104s on my radio since 1974. First thing to go is the stock mic. Put the D104 on.
I couldn't afford a D104 when I was growing up, man.
Well, see, my radio station, our father bought it for us for Christmas, but I had to share it with my brother. And between mowing lawns and paper routes, we pooled our money together and bought a D104.
Well, you guys were king.
Yeah, we were certainly the only ones for a long while that had anything like, you know, they were like, how do you get your radio to sound like that? And everybody's running stock mics and walkie-talkies.
Yeah, everybody couldn't have a D104. The ones that did have them, they said they were a D104 probably about 20 times through the course of a night.
Oh, yeah. What are you using? D104. Ha! What's that? I remember when people didn't know what they were.
Yeah, I didn't even know what they were. Some of them, they holler lollipop, you know what I mean? But, and then when I came back, I didn't know there was a such thing as a handheld D104.
I didn't know what they were.
Actually, you know, I kind of remember calling it the static lollipop.
There you go.
All right, man. Yeah, the handheld D104, the Minuteman.
All right, Natural High. Have a good night, man. But yeah, you back better there, 10-4.
Yeah, okay. Hey, before I go, this sound better? Now, he's like a 30-second man. He was like 1 second, man.
Hold on for a minute, y'all. Natural High, you were better off when the thing was on low. All the way on low. I don't know what you did to get yourself to sound crunchy. But when you first came in here tonight, you were sounding perfect. 10-4?
I hear you, okay. Yeah, I went to low power right now.
All right, well, that is a little bit better than it was. But yeah, don't do the high power. Truth is, low power and then let it swing anyway. It's still going to make the trip. 10-4?
I hear you, okay. So be careful, be safe, my brother. It's nice hearing you tonight, and I hope every day I can hear you. Be safe, brother.
All right, you too, man. 73. Train, back quiet. Channel clear.
Hey, Train, tell him he's making the trip down here to King of Prussia.
Natural High. 123 said you're making it all the way down to King of Prussia to give you an idea there. 10-4. He gone.
Yeah, I could hear him in there scratching. I could hear some of the words, but I couldn't hear much of it.
Yeah, that's a long ride from Reading down to KOP.
That's 50 miles, dude.
Yeah, but it don't count if you can't understand what he's saying. And he couldn't hear you. So, yeah, almost.
50 miles, that's pretty good to a mobile.
Yeah, but you couldn't understand everything he was saying. So it's not like you could hold a conversation because he couldn't hear you at all. So, yeah, I mean, it's good that you could tell he was there, but, you know.
You're such a perfectionist. Jeez.
Hey, I'm a professional picking at nits.
With it.
Everybody's critics,
Yep. I'm a professional picker of nits.
Well, I'm glad I got my little stock mic working on my little Regency Imperial.
No nits to pick there, Train.
Break a second, break.
Go ahead, break.
Yeah, Train, how far from him, how far away is he from you?
I thought it was 13 miles, to be honest with you. I thought Reading was 13 miles west of Pottstown. I don't know where you got the 50. 23 and 13 is how much?
23 and 13? Pottstown's like 20 miles from King of Prussia.
23. And he's 13 more, so what's 23 and 13?
No, wait, Pottstown's only 13 miles. I don't know. I drove up there. I remember being 50 miles. What do I know?
36 miles. That sounds about right. Maybe 40.
Yeah, you gotta remember, RF doesn't travel along the roads.
Well, it all depends on where around Reading he is also. Is he in Temple or is he in, what's that other one down there?
Yeah, I'm not really sure. I never knew exactly where Natural High was sitting. He might be in Mount Penn. See what I'm saying? That might make a little difference. And then if you get them radio waves to go around the street and turn a corner and go up and then come down and then go across, 10-4?
Oh, and around them mountains, they're tough.
Yeah, or climb over the hill, one of them round radio waves.
Coming around the mountain when she comes.
I know Operator Ron is 18 miles from me.
Yeah. This is 23. Well, then again, they're 422 miles. It's 23 miles from that Pennsylvania Turnpike to Pottstown. Approximately 23 miles. 10-4?
Okay. In the air?
Yeah, air miles. Well, then again, no. Ground miles. Going around the St. Gabe's curve and the whole 9 yards.
Oh, yeah, that 422 is all twisty-turny.
Yeah, you can't go by that. I usually measure it on Google Earth, and I can get good, reliable air miles.
Yeah, from the satellite.
Hey, 1, 2, 3.
Go ahead.
What's that elevation in that location where you are? You got that My Elevation app on your phone?
Yeah, this one's 223, like 223 or 224.
Wow, that thing works for you.
It's the spot, man. I'm in this, just right in this spot. I got an opening right between the trees.
10-4. Let me get the. We got a code 3. Where's that location? Let me see if I get units out there. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, look for the Bahama Breeze. I'm right behind it.
We got a code 3 behind that Bahama Breeze. All units respond.
1 Adam 12, 1 Adam 12, car 54, where are you?
Louis. Subject to conditions may apply.
Next thing you know, they had a hood all open and everything. Looks like you're running a linear amplifier. We're going to have to ask you to step out of the vehicle, sir.
What's that light on your antenna?
What's all these blue lights?
Yeah, you got it in here.
A cop or something?
Huh?
What is that blue light? Are you trying to be a cop?
Yeah, we're going to have to ask you to step out of the vehicle requesting backup.
I got nothing to say. I want to talk to my lawyer.
It's just a simple radio, sir.
I'm not saying nothing. My lawyer told me not to say nothing without him present. I want my lawyer.
Number 7 used to get jacked up when he'd be out there. He'd get a spot. I think it was number 7. Yeah. So what? Operators, the cops. Yeah. It was number 7. Number 7 be out there just minding his own business, man. Oh, they have to pull him over.
Oh, yeah. Happens all the time when you park somewhere.
Especially at night in the dark with an antenna sticking up off your vehicle.
That's why I need a 102-inch whip.
paint that rascal black.
That's what I did.
When they asked me what that was, I told them that's a tree trimmer.
10-4. Yeah, paint that rascal black. You know, if I'd have known what I was doing. Well, then again, I don't know. I'm all right now. But you can never find 44 Daves in Tana if he hung you. Now, yeah, he was incognito total. He didn't have to tell anybody where he was.
The antennas were made out of wire, so hard to see.
Oh, yeah, good. Good. Oh, I'm giving you Pete now.
Grasser.
That answer your question? Yeah, what am I giving you now there, Pete?
What happened?
Like a 3. Goose probably threw his box out the window, and so now he's barefoot.
I can't hear him anymore.
Then it's right here.
Did you burn your box up, Goose?
No, it's right here. I'll just turn it off for a second.
Man, that thing does make a difference. Holy cow.
Goose, do you smell that smell?
Hear him.
It don't even get hot, so there ain't no smell.
Does it have a fan on it?
It has a couple fans. 4 fans on it, but that box is cool, man. It's a cool box.
10-4.
Yeah, kind of like my cool box. 8 pills on a 16-pill bed. It is. 8 pills on a 16-pill bed with 4 fans.
Yep. With a 150 amp power supply.
Yep.
The power supply gets warm.
50 amps. I don't want an 8 pill.
The wire gets warm.
Runs my 8 pill. That's all I got. 150 amps.
Oh, I said 50 amps. That's what I thought he said.
Oh, no, he said 150.
Oh, okay. 150 is fine.
Goose, say it again. 150 amp supply, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's what I thought I heard.
I heard 50 amps. I was going to say, what?
And down.
Yeah, 50 amps ain't gonna do it. That'll barely run a 4 pill.
Yeah, exactly.
A small 4 pill. I got a 3 pill that draws that.
Yeah, maybe 4 1446s you might get away with a 50 amp, but ain't nothing more.
Well, you can run a 4 pill with 50 amps. Barely. Just, you're not like squeezing a little daylights out of it.
Yo, B, what do you think of that, man? It's a 150 amp power supply, and its idle load is 23 volts.
Well, that sounds like an unregulated supply to me, and I wouldn't use that. Not me. Nope. Mine sits at 14 volts and never moves.
That thing, you keys that thing up at 23 volts, it comes down to like 17, 18.
Yeah, that's an unregulated supply there.
That's a down-getter special there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can get down.
Man, that's X-Force call right out of the gate.
Yeah, you could get down with that.
Yeah, but you might not get back up again.
Right. You could get down, and then some point the magic smoke gets out, and then you're done.
And then you say, I just got up.
That box was used for like 10 years straight. It's still going.
Knock on that wood, man.
Yeah, I'm not using an unregulated supply. Sorry.
You just heard it though. You just heard that thing, and he's been using it. I was talking to him on it last night for about an hour. He said it didn't even get warm.
I'm not saying it's all right. That's fine. If it works, it works. Go for it. I'm just telling you what I'm not gonna do.
Yeah, 10-4. But I'm just saying that's the way they built it back in 2001.
I'm no fan of unregulated supplies. I'm too much of an engineer to want to deal with it.
Yeah, but you know what? They do that a lot with these amps because trying to make it regulated is extremely difficult. Because think about the current you're trying to regulate. You're going to need like 20 pass transistors in parallel or something. So it's a lot easier to just get this big honking transformer and whatever, let it fly. Actually, the best thing to do nowadays are getting these computer switching supplies because they can put out some. That's what I got here. I got a 75 amp switching supply. The damn thing is smaller than the amplifier, but it works really well.
Yeah, and a lot of those you can stack them all together in parallel, and you can keep right on going and make the supply as big as you want. No, I get why they do it with the unregulated supplies and the downgetters. They don't care, and it seems to work. Of course, it's less expensive than a full blown regulated supply. I understand all the reasoning behind it. It's just not my cup of tea. I'll pay the extra money, have my 150 amp regulated supply, and be done.
So what if you need a forklift to get it in the house?
Yeah, I only got to put it here once.
Yeah.
Until the wife makes you move into another part of the basement, you gotta move it.
And then you have to go to the hospital.
Well, the next time this stuff gets moved, it'll be likely I'll be underground and it won't matter, and somebody else will be moving it.
I'll be getting that phone call.
We're ready to move Pete's stuff.
Well, my box don't weigh that much, but my power supply is quite heavy.
I got a die covers type. I move engines with it.
This one's heavy too.
Well, I just looked at the time and it is now 17 minutes past the big hour of 10 o'clock, so I got to get out of here and go to bed. Everyone, it's been real, it's been nice. I guess it's been real nice. We'll catch everyone later. Classic Radio Roundup.
Heck, I wasn't even looking at the time. I was too having too much fun giggling. But yeah, I'm right behind you. It's getting a little past the bewitching hour, so I guess it's now the Classic Radio Roundup after hours for the carry-oners. So carry on. Thanks for the fun. The gate will be uploaded sometime tomorrow. 441 to Spitfire. 7-3 all.
Right here.
Catch you there, Dave. Catch you, Pete.
Catch you, Dave. Catch you, Pete. Go breaker.
Yeah, hello, night train, Spitfire, blah, 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 and blah, 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 whoever. You know who it is, the biggest mud duck in the county. Having a cigar, saying hello.
Hello, Witch Doctor.
Big mud duck in the county. Have a good one, guys. Catch you later.
I thought that was Bassmaster.
That is.
Why are you calling Witch Doctor?
Oh, he sounded like the Witch Doctor. He was in here earlier. Thought it was him. Oh, hello, Bassmaster. Sorry for the mix-up. Anyway, I'll catch you next time around. Countywide.
Yeah, no big deal. I'm just out here sandbagging now. As you guys talk, I figured I'd jump on in.
Hey, Spitfire, you didn't answer my question yet.
Probably because I didn't hear the question you asked.
I said, is the non-regulator power supply bad for a box?
Not necessarily, no. Not if it's working.
Okay.
No, it's all right. They've been doing it for years, Goose. They've been doing it for years. The guys don't use regulated. The ham operators have the regulated power supplies. The downgetters have non-regulated power supplies that could take a draw.
Yeah, it's fine. As long as the volts drop down and it holds there, you're fine. Don't worry about it. Just yeah, it's fine.
All right, I got you.
You didn't hear that part of the conversation we were having.
What?
When I said that box he's using right there was used continuously for 10 years.
Yeah, I heard it. They definitely work. There's nothing wrong with non-regulated as long as it's got enough, to start with, so that when you hit it, it doesn't take it down too far. But you're right in there, Goose. There's not no problem.
You got that, Goose? Did he answer your question?
Yeah, not a problem.
Yep.